Hi, my name is Grace Freeman, and I'm here today to talk to you about nature journaling. So this is an activity that we're going to engage in over the next 20 minutes, and throughout the presentation, we'll pause and have you discuss different questions amongst yourselves. So what is nature journaling? Nature journaling is the simple activity of observation. So the first little activity I want you to do is to talk amongst yourself, what is observation? Observation is using your senses to understand or make sense of the world around you. And with observation, we're going to use your sight, your hearing, the wind right now, how is it feeling, the sun, and then write or draw on a piece of paper what you're experiencing. It's that simple. So really, for this activity, all you'll need is a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, and some people might want colors, so maybe some colored pencils or markers. So there's just two little rules for nature journaling. One is we want to make sure that you write the date and location on your journal entry. And why do you think that is? So one reason why we want the date and location is so that you can come back to that journal entry maybe in a year, maybe in 5 years, and you can compare that location, that activity, those thoughts, those feelings with what you're experiencing a year later. The other rule is that you have to be alone. You don't have to be all alone, but just separate from others. You want to be in a quiet space. Give yourself 10 or 15 minutes to really use your observation skills. And why do you think that's important? Why is it important for that quiet to really get that journal entry? So before we start our activity here, another question is, there are some very famous nature journalists that you've probably learned about in school. And I'm going to give you a hint. I'd like you to think of some. One hint is the Missouri River. Can you think of any famous nature journalists that you've talked about in school? I hope one of you thought of Lewis and Clark, right? So Meriwether Lewis in 1804, when the Corps of Discovery went up the Missouri River from St. Louis to the Pacific, they were seeing things that their culture had never seen before. And we know about it now because of Meriwether Lewis's nature journals. And also, while we're on that subject, there are careers with nature journaling, believe it or not. You can make money doing this. Two that I can think of, one is being a field biologist, and those are people that study ecology or ecosystems. And another one is somebody that studies animal behavior, and that job would be called an ethologist. Somebody that works at a zoo or studying animals in the wild. So for our activity today, we're going to do a poem, and it's called an acrostic poem. And an acrostic poem is a very simple activity where you are going to write on the left side of your paper, going down vertically, you're going to write a word. And every line of your poem is going to start with the letter, first letter going down that left side. So it can be your name. I wrote the word river because we're at the river. It can be tree, it could be the name of the season. Right now it's spring. Whatever word you want. It's kind of fun to use your name. So I will let you guys all write down on your left side of your paper your word. And now that you have that down, we're going to start with that first letter, and I'm going to think of something that I am seeing here and write my poem. So for river, I might say, running wild, that would be my first line. I view everything around me. Remembering times I've been at the river before and thinking about what's happening now. I would write that as my simple poem, just getting that creative inspiration for my observations. And I'll make sure to write the date and location on that in my nature journal. So it can be that simple. So when you're doing this activity, nature journaling, you're observing, and remember to ask those questions, those 5 W words that are so important for journaling. And that's who, what, why, where, when, which, and how. Those questioning words will be really good prompts for your nature journal entry. All right, and if you want any more ideas or encouraged to do more nature activities, there's a wonderful website called Project Learning Tree, and I will give that web address to your teachers. Thank you.